So welcome to our episode of Girl Talk, and I would like to introduce the three outstanding girls I have with me today. Each one will say something about herself.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm very excited to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I am a junior at UMBC, and I'm also really excited to be here with you today.
Hi guys, my name is Lena. I'm a first year graduate and I attend St. Mark's DC, and I'm also very excited to be here.
So there are three different types of friendships. There's the mentor friendship, where you will be a mentor for someone, and that one requires a deep relationship with the Lord so you can wisely counsel the person that you're mentoring. The second friendship is the mentee friendship, where you should find someone to mentor you. And the last one is the mutual friendship. And that's the one that we're going to discuss and ask questions about today. The mutual friendship is when two people are friends, and the goal is to edify one another and point each other to Christ. So now we're going to start with the questions, and we'll discuss them.
How can you set boundaries without coming off as standoffish or condemning?
Well, we kind of talked a little bit about it. What do you guys think? How, from your friendships, did you have to set boundaries with anyone? And how did you do it?
I think the most important thing is when setting boundaries with someone is not to come off as if you're judging that person for what they do, and instead say it in a way that makes them feel like they're loved and that you do accept them no matter what they do, and make sure that they know that you're coming from a place where you don't want to hurt yourself or anyone else, and you're setting the boundaries because you want your relationship with Christ to come first.
Right. Okay. Catherine?
It's tough to set boundaries, only because, especially if you're very emotionally invested, it can be really difficult, first, to set the boundaries, and then second, to stand by them, because sometimes the situation might cause you to think that you have to overstep. And sometimes it's in situations that you're not necessarily prepared for. I remember I had a friend who was really struggling with their mental health. And, it's a very sensitive topic, and you want to be there for the person. But at the same time, when they're coming to you constantly and it's starting to affect your own mental health in very negative ways, it becomes really hard, because you want to be there for them, you want to make sure that they're going to be okay, but at the same time, you have nothing left to give. And so I think something that I learned specifically from that situation was, be there for them in the ways that you can be and in the ways that you can express. And something that was also really difficult to learn was that, people love in different ways. And so maybe for her, it was constantly encouraging people because she knew that what it was like to not feel encouraged, But for me, while I want to do that, I just can't be on my phone constantly trying to calm someone down during the middle of a panic attack. Maybe for me, my expression of love or the way that I can help is referring her to a hotline or referring her to the school counselor, And so I think being in the situation makes it so much harder, but I think sitting down with yourself and assessing where you are and where you should be and how you can be there for someone. I know this is very long-winded, but you need to be able to assess your situation and assess your friend's situation, and you can't overstep both your boundaries and theirs, because they may not even be in a place to recognize what you're doing, and it may hurt them. But at the same time, if it's long-term, trying to help, maybe sometimes the hard thing is to kind of be you know what, I'm here for you, but I can't do this right now. How about you talk to someone that can actually help you? So in that case, you're still helping them, but you're still directing them to someone that is actually capable of doing it, and at the same time, you are able to protect yourself.
Right. And I also think telling them, I genuinely care about you, and I really care about your well-being, and that's why, you're helping them and pointing them to someone else who can actually help them better than you.
Right, right.
Lena?
No, I definitely think that setting boundaries is an essential part of a healthy friendship. I think part of doing that is going to also be able to freely express yourself and create an environment where your friend is also comfortable enough to express themselves. So that's also being able to say no to certain things so that your friend is aware of where you are in terms of your decisions, how you're thinking, or what you're trying to achieve, short-term and long-term goals. But if I used to struggle a lot with, thinking that someone else might be mad at me because I would say no, I wouldn't want to go this place or, hang out at this time. But at the end, it did more harm to me not being able to say not now versus yes. So it's not going to hurt your friend because they know, there's love in the relationship. And that's another thing. You have to make sure that the foundation of your relationship is with love and kindness so that when you are able to set those boundaries, that other person understands it's because she genuinely wants time to herself, or it's not, it's not that she's attacking me, it's that she's, she wants room to grow, so.
Yeah, that's good. And I wanted to mention something else because Lena mentioned it a little bit. When you are ready to set boundaries with someone, you cannot be doing it from a place of hurt, anger, and bitterness. I mean, if you're not ready to speak to them, like you said, you need to pause, step back, assess the situation, like you said, but you have to have like a pure, forgiven heart. Because if you don't, and you're speaking from hurt, you're going to hurt your friend a lot. And then you have to also ask yourself, why are you setting that boundary? Because sometimes when people attack us, sometimes our pride gets in the way. So if they had said something or mentioned something to you and you're like, you know what, I don't need to be friends with that person. You need to evaluate your heart and, examine your own heart and say, I wonder what's going on. What did she touch on that caused me to react like that to her or to him? So definitely boundaries are very healthy in any relationship. And it has to be done from a place of forgiveness and love and kindness. So I think you guys really said a lot of great points on setting boundaries.
How can you identify friends that may not be a good influence? What should you do once you figure that out?
That's a really good question. Well, let's talk about a friend who would be a good influence. Like in a friendship, what are you looking for? To me, you want a friend who feeds the fruits of the Holy Spirit that you already have within you. Your friend's not going to put them in there. Those are spirit-filled gifts that only come from your relationship with God. So having a friend who enhances that, I would say, is a good influence. That you are loving, peaceful, kind, joyful, patient, have self-control. That's a person who's a good influence on you. It's not a person who brings the best out in you, because I know that there's a misconception when we say, oh my gosh, she brings the worst out of me. That's not possible, because whatever is in there, your friend didn't put it there. That's something within you. I mean, if you're around a friend and you're just constantly angry and upset and frustrated, your friend didn't put it there. That's something that's within you. So having someone who's a good influence is someone who helps you to feed off the fruits of the Holy Spirit that you already have within you. But if I would also love to hear what you would think a good influence would be.
I think that's such a broad topic, because you always have your parents who are like, make sure that they're good influences, which that's important, of course, listen to your parents. But I think something that I learned, kind of going back to what we were previously talking about as well, is kind of this aspect of mutuality. You're not the only one in this relationship. It's a two-person thing. So you want to make sure that it's reciprocated, that you're both trying, and that's including two people working together to build each other up and to be there for one another. And I think that's a huge part of being a good influence is, yes, 100% morals, raising each other up spiritually, yes, 100%. But I think also this aspect of it's not just one person putting in the work constantly, it's both of you trying to work together in a synergistic, very, just working together to build each other up. That's so huge.